Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Daily Drive. We're still hanging out in my living room because I just haven't gotten around to cleaning up my office. My office has ended up being a catch-all for just life right now, since my husband and I have been sick and I am dealing with back pain and all of these kinds of things. And so we're just hanging out in my living room because my office is a source of anxiety right now, and we're going to be working on it little by little as we can. So we're out here hanging out in my living room, just chilling. Side note, love this big window that I have. Oh, there we go. We focused. Love this big window that I have right here. And I'm grateful for my neighbors because this is their yard and all of these trees right here have bird feeders in them. And there are beautiful cardinals and blue jays and finches and just all kinds of birds that I get to watch in the morning through that big window. Anyway, that was a random side note. Welcome to the Daily Drive. Thank you for being here. If you are new, if you haven't watched me before, this is a little bit different than what I have been doing, but the Daily Drive is just my way of living in my purpose. A couple of times a week, I try to share my purpose as often as possible, and we're going to get into that a little bit because that's kind of what I'm talking about today, but this is just my way of sharing how I maneuver through life with anxiety. I will always be open and vulnerable about my anxiety, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, and this is just my way of sharing that information and helping people understand that you can maneuver through life even while you have anxiety, and you can turn your anxiety into other things. When I was diagnosed with anxiety in 2010, I had no idea what to do, especially no idea that I could actually be in control of my mind. And so when I started to learn that a little bit more, some other things started to happen. And so that's why we're here with the Daily Drive. My goal in life is to become a public speaker, traveling, going to events, speaking at events, all of those kinds of things. Good morning, Suzette. Thanks for being on. Happy Thursday. But this is just my way of living in my purpose a little bit. And I've had some things going on lately in life that I just want to chat about today. And one of those things is just a reminder of being open, because all of our lives, we are like bombarded with all of these different things. Some things we adapt as truth to us. Side note, a lie believed as true affects your body and brain as if it's true. So if you're believing a lie that you've been told, it's affecting your body and brain as if it's true. Now, what do I mean by that? Someone way back in middle school called you fat. That's a lie, right? But you clung to it and hung on to it. And so all your life, you've told yourself you're fat, right? Because you believed that lie and felt it was true. I feel you. I'm right there with you. Like, took a long time for me to unpack a lot of things. But a lie believed as true affects your body and brain as if it's true. And so all of our lives, we have been bombarded with all of this different information, whether it's from school, whether it's from our teachers, our parents, our social network, our friends, whatever it is, media, social media now in this day and age. Social media was not a thing when I was growing up. Our social media was, drop a one, this is another random side note, drop a one in the comments if you and your friends had a notebook, like you legit got a spiral notebook or a composition book or whatever, and you decorated the front of it, and then you all passed it around and wrote notes to each other in between classes. My friends and I all had a notebook together that we would write notes to each other in and all pass it around. That was our social media when I was in school. But anyway, we have all of these thoughts and all of these things coming at us, bombarding us all of the time. And over the course of our lives, we believe certain things. It's not anyone's fault. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just what happens in our brain. Once something is there, it creates a nerve ending, a pattern in your brain. And so it's just there. And what has happened to us is that all of these limited thoughts have just been lingering in our minds. We didn't know how to, we didn't know we needed to, we didn't know that we could change those and take control of them, right? So all of these limited thoughts have just been there, and we've been believing them. We've been, pushing them to the back of our brain, trying to brush it under the rug, whatever. But these limited thought patterns, thought processes have formed. And now what do I mean by limited? I mean that something somewhere along the line has been triggered in your brain to allow you to feel less than, to feel like it's the not enough feeling. It's the comparing yourself to someone else feeling. It's those feelings that you get when you're looking at something else and comparing yourself. It is that limitation that you are feeling, that heaviness, that fear, right? That is what I mean by limited thoughts, right? Like my example a minute ago, somebody somewhere way back in middle school that you probably don't even talk to anymore called you fat at some point in your life, and you've spent your whole life now with body image issues because of that one thing, right? That word, fat, is a limited thought that you have hung on to, right? And so, yes, Suzette, time to reprogram those thoughts. And so that is why becoming unlimited is what I call my brand, my information, whatever you want to call it. That is why this journey, this brand that I am growing, is called Becoming Unlimited, because it's a daily process. It's a daily awareness. It's a daily understanding. I find something new daily that's a limited thought that I probably didn't even know was a limited thought, right? And so then it's my chance, my opportunity. I get to take control of that limited thought and change it, right? One of those, oh gosh, dropped my phone. There we go. That's a first for alive in a living room. One of those limited thoughts that I clung to for a long time is that I wasn't worthy of the right relationship. I felt like for a long time that I had to fix people, take care of people, be the person to change other people. And the fact of the matter is you can't change someone else unless they take control of that, unless they choose to become unlimited and change their limited beliefs, right? Good morning, Cece. Thanks for being here. And so it took me a long time to learn that. I have my notes written down so I can stay on track, right? And so that's why Becoming Unlimited, that's why I call all of this. My name on Instagram is Becoming Unlimited. My shop name is Becoming Unlimited Shop. Becoming Unlimited is what I am doing every single day. I'm finding new ways of thinking. I'm doing new things, whatever it is. And that is because I learned that I can take control of my mind. And that one little seed that I can take control of my mind really fueled and started this whole personal growth journey that I've been on since probably about 2018, 2019 ish. And it really just reminded me that there's new things to learn every single day. And with learning, with knowledge, comes unlimiting, right? And so I started on this personal growth journey. And the biggest thing that I learned on this personal growth journey is that staying open is crucial, right? Staying open is how you allow yourself to become unlimited. Because what's happened somewhere along your life is that someone's told you that you're not a good enough writer. Someone's told you they didn't like your artwork. Someone's told you they didn't like your music. Someone's told you they didn't like your hair. They didn't like the way you dress. Someone somewhere along the lines has inflicted their opinion on you, their limited belief on you, and told you that they didn't like something, or you've seen someone on TV that you feel like looks better than you. And so because of that, they're a better spokesperson for whatever it is you're working on, right? But someone else has put their limited belief onto you and caused you or allowed you to shut yourself off to certain things, right? If you enjoy writing, for example, and you're in school and you're in your English class in school and you've written something that you think is so great and you're going to get a great grade, say that 5 times fast, a great grade on it, and you're super excited about it, and you get it back and you've gotten like a D or a C or even an F, right? And so you weren't really excited to write anymore. You didn't want to write anymore after that, right? Let me tell you that is simply because that person, whoever read that, for whatever reason, didn't feel that connection. Right now, I'm talking about this in terms of school, so maybe your grammar and your punctuation wasn't that great, but like, by the time you're in high school, you're pretty good at punctuation and stuff, right? But you get that paper back and you just didn't do as well as you thought you were going to do, and so it closed you off. It formed a limited belief that you're not a good enough writer because you didn't get a good grade on this, or you're not a good enough insert because you didn't get a good enough grade on this, or someone else didn't like it. So you've limited yourself because someone else didn't like it, right? Give me a 2 in the comments if you've ever felt like that. And I'll tell you that I felt like that for sure. I was engaged twice before my husband and I got engaged. And after both of those engagements, I felt like I wasn't enough. And so I was really scared to get into another relationship. I was really doing some self-destructive things. It limited me into believing that I was the problem in relationships, that I needed to do something, when really it just wasn't the right person. They just weren't the right people. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right season, whatever you want to call it, right? But I formed that limited belief. And so I got to work on that when my husband and I started dating, and I started to realize that I was grateful for the experiences that I had been through because they helped me understand what I have with my husband, right? So somewhere along the lines, this limited belief has been put into your mind, whatever it is, and it's up to us now to unlimit that belief. And so you do that by staying open. You stay open to new opportunities. You stay open to new ways of growing. I'm always looking for podcasts, for books, for friends to connect with, for new people to learn from. I'm always looking for some kind of new way to learn and grow every single day, because it just keeps you open. It just helps you think about things in a different way. So when you stay open to new opportunities, when you try new opportunities as they come along, you are unlimiting yourself. And now let me tell you, with new opportunities, we all know comes ups and downs, right? One thing may not work out and may be a failure. I loved the job that I had recently, and I worked there for a few months, and it didn't work out for me, and they decided to let me go. And I internalized that for a little bit and told myself that, it was because I suck and whatever. And the fact of the matter is that it just wasn't the right season. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't the right time. But being open to that allowed me to learn and understand things a little bit better. There were things that I needed to know about myself along that journey. There were things that I needed to realize, that I needed the reminder of, the friends that I should be holding close to me. I was drinking a little bit more when I worked there, which is not something that I even like to do, right? And so it was a reminder, it was a lesson, it was a learning experience. But just staying open to that new opportunity allowed me to grow, even though it didn't work out, right? And what I really want to talk about is staying open spiritually. Because one of the biggest things that I've learned over the last few years is that when you grow spiritually, when you connect spiritually with what truly helps you with what truly gives you comfort and helps you get through life, whatever your higher power is, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Mother Nature, whether you believe in multiple gods, whatever it is that you believe in as your higher power, for me it's God, as you're learning and growing and remaining open to new spiritual things, you will find your relationship, your faith with that higher power growing deeper. And now what do I mean? When I was a kid, certain things were like taboo. We weren't allowed to do them, right? Like card readings and using crystals for energy and I don't even know, like foreign things, if it wasn't like a church thing, it was like we weren't supposed to do it, right? And so I never explored things spiritually other than what I was given at my local church, right? And I think that's how a lot of us end up growing up when we're connected to a spiritual community at a young age. And being open to new spiritual ways of thinking has really changed things for me lately. My husband and I have found a church home, a church community that we are extremely happy with, that we enjoy being at. I have opened myself to just new ways of thinking. And one of those things, y'all, that I am like super, super excited about is card readings. And this happened to me this week. I don't even know what kind of cards they are, not like tarot cards. They are like universe cards, I guess, whatever. And I saw this girl make a Facebook post, and her Facebook post just said, if anyone's interested in a reading today, let me know. And I originally didn't understand what it was saying. I thought it was like one of those things where you comment and then they send you a little like spiritual thing in text on Facebook. But what it really was an actual personal to me reading. And so it wasn't like a free thing. I took a little while and I thought about it. And eventually I had decided that this was something that I needed to be open to. And so I sent the girl $15 to get a reading in these cards. And what she sent me was videos of her and what cards she had pulled for me and the explanation behind them. And y'all, it's solidified for me that I'm on the right journey in my life right now. It told me the things that she said were so personal to me and so specific that it's solidified for me, specific to the way that I'm feeling right now, specific to what I'm doing in life. They were so specific that it's solidified for me that I am being open to the right things right now. She told me that I'm on the right journey, that things have happened lately that have made me feel low, but I am on the track to getting my energy back and that new opportunities are coming. Like, it was spot on. And so what I want to tell you about this is that for me, when I started this journey of becoming unlimited, of growing, of changing who I am, of growing into my true potential, when I started this journey, shortly after that, everything shut down in the world, right? And we're still kind of living in like a half shut down world. And as a result of that, I decided to stay home. It was best for our health, for our family, for me to, stay home and not be out in the world around people. And so I tried to come up with ways to make money from home. One of those ways was getting into resin work. I just saw some resin stuff on social media and I thought it looked cool and people seemed to be interested in different things. And so I was like, cool, I can get some resin and some molds and I can make a few things and sell them and have a little bit of money coming in, right? And so I started to do that. And what I learned in that process is that I love resin work. Making jewelry allows me some mental cleansing time because I'm focusing on that jewelry and I'm doing something for myself by focusing on that jewelry. Like the whole process of everything just gives me a mental release. And it's not something that I ever thought that I would be interested in. I have always considered myself to be creative, but not necessarily like artistic. I'm not great at drawing. I'm not great at painting. I'm not, great at some things. But what I found is that I love resin work and I'm not that bad at it. And so I brought some stuff to show, whether it is pouring resin in molds and creating some fun things like this keychain, mermaid tail keychain that I've made, whether it is creating jewelry, earrings. This particular set is made with Elliot, my bearded dragon's skins and sheds in there, and I love them. It has led to a love of making oddities. I never thought that I would be interested in like the oddities world, but like, who doesn't want a dragon? This is not going to zoom in on it, but who doesn't want a dragon tail? There's a dragon tail in there. Who doesn't want a dragon tail? Dragons represent rebirth, regrowth. Who doesn't want a dragon tail in their life? And it's also just led to a love of creating, a love of finding things, turning them into, this one's a necklace. It's just led to a love of creating things. And as a result of that, some big things are coming. I'm going to have a space at a local shop where you can go in and get my stuff in person. I am continuing the journey of becoming a speaker and looking for things and places to book. It has really just led to a love of me, an understanding that I am more than the limited beliefs that I've been told my whole life or up until now or whatever you want to consider it. So being open, staying open to new opportunities, new places, new spiritual ways of thinking is one of the biggest ways that you can unlimit your mind. And when you're unlimiting your mind, you are living in your true energy. You are living as yourself. You are understanding who you are, getting to know who you are, loving who you are. And I promise you, you will feel so relieved. You might have those ups and downs. It took a toll on me the last couple of weeks. Actually, the beginning of February was pretty rough for me. It took a toll. But I am getting myself back into the right energy and continuing to unlimit myself every single day. So you become unlimited in your thoughts, in your life, by staying open to new things. Don't close yourself off to things. Try new things. Go through the ups and downs. Learn who you are. And I promise you, you will find a new love of life, a new love of yourself. I never ever in my life thought that I would love creating jewelry, and the truth is that I do. I love these. I wish I could wear these myself every single day, and I love creating these. And if I hadn't just jumped in and tried it, I wouldn't have figured that out. If I hadn't reminded myself that I need to be open to life's ups and downs, I wouldn't have figured any of this out. I wouldn't be coming up on having my own space to have these things displayed in. I wouldn't be home every day doing what I love if I didn't stay open to living in my own true energy. So you become unlimited by staying open to new things, to new opportunities, to new ways of growing, trying new things. I got my gym stuff ready because even though I haven't felt that great lately, I need to go walk and get my energy back right and, get myself back to feeling good. So it's all about you taking control and understanding that you can redirect your mind and take control anytime you choose to. I mentioned on Tuesday that my mantra for this season that I'm in right now is that I am my own safe place. I am no longer beating myself up. I am no longer limiting myself to someone else's body image, someone else's expectations. I am my own safe place, and I am doing the things that make me continue to become unlimited. I love y'all so much for tuning in and for watching me. There goes Bella with her wheezing back there. You guys always go in the joy jar, and even though I'm out here in my living room right now, I'm writing down notes for myself and writing down who I am grateful for on the back right there. And today I just wrote community. I am grateful for those of you that are in my personal community, my real life community, my social media community. I'm grateful for those of you that are in my Becoming Unlimited community, for my church community, for my family community, for those of you that watch me, that community. I'm just grateful for all of it. And so y'all go in the joy jar. Do me a favor and check out dailydrivecoaching.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom, put your email address in, hit subscribe, and you will get content from me, blog posts when I post them. All of these daily drives are on there. You can see more of my shop and what's going on. That's Becoming Unlimited, or that's dailydrivecoaching.com. If you're not part of my Becoming Unlimited Facebook group, let me know, or it's tagged here. That is just a free place where you get these daily drives, a little bit more content about unlimiting your thoughts, and just a community of support, so you know you're not in this mental health and personal growth journey alone. We're all in it together. That's Becoming Unlimited on Facebook. It's tagged here in this video. If you are watching this on YouTube, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. Turn on notifications for all of my social media, because I never ask for a fee for what I do here on social media. My hope is to become a paid public speaker in the real world for that. And so I never ask for a fee for what I do here on social media. I just ask that you do the social media things. Tag a friend, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, interact with me, share a video, all of those things. It helps me so much more than you know. I want y'all to remember that the biggest way you can continue to become unlimited in your life is to stay open. Stay open to new opportunities. Stay open to new spirituality. Stay open to new ways of growing, because that is what's going to change those limited thought patterns in your mind. Continue to become unlimited every single day. I love y'all so much. I will see you soon.